the primaries was fraught with a lot of controversy, and some people were saying that in certain areas there were problems like Ijero, and one of the contestants, Dele Phillips, who was recently calling his people to support you because of the deep rancor. How do you find yourself going into a battle in which the House doesn't seem together? It seems divided against itself.
Well, that is the nature of politics when people contest for different reasons, and when a party is in government and a party is popular, you attract a lot of people that want to occupy position. But I have met with Dele Phillips. He's a good brother of mine, and we have resolved it. In every contestation, there will be different perspectives and different views on the process. I think that we have put that behind us. He's ready to work with us, and he has started mobilizing for the party. A party as big as APC, we cannot rule out this kind of occurrences. But the beauty is that the party is already imbued with internal mechanism to resolve those issues. You will recall, sir, that during my own primaries, we have issues like this, but we have put it behind us. We have come together as a very strong family because everybody realized the fact that the party is bigger than each and any one of us.
You have not really run for any election before. This is going to be your first time.
Yes.
Does it not give you some kind of fever?
Well, not at all. I'm at peace with myself. I'm unperturbed. I've been a major actor in electioneering in the state since the creation of Ekiti State, though I've not actually participated in running for an election. But the beauty of the fact is, for those that have gone this state, none of them ran for election before. They started from that point, and they did well. When Governor came, he now ran for election. He became governor. Baushe came, he didn't run for election. He became governor. Governor Oni came, he has now run for election. He became governor. Governor Oni came, his first job was at the governorship.
Yeah, does it make it easy because you'll be running on a structure that is already there, in what we call structure?
Well, that is part of it. That is part of it. I will not deny that. We have structures in all the local government and in all the wards and in all the communities. And because I've been here for a long period of time, I'm connected with all the critical stakeholders in the state. So I'm not new to them. So they know me very well, and we've done transactions together before.
How is your administration going to be different from all the other ones we've had? We had that we've seen a lot of drama in Ekiti history since it came in terms of governance. We had Fayose, and we had the story of Fayose and his stomach infrastructure, which became a national drama. We've seen the what might be called nanny state that was developed by your mentor now, Kayode Fayemi, and some people said it was actually divisive because it took care of some people, didn't take care of others, and it was actually a nanny for only one section of the Ekiti people and so on. And we've had the story of violence in Ekiti during the time of Idodi, and the drama during the time of Oni, and the struggle to get power. Ekiti has been fraught with a lot of drama for a small state like that. How are you sure you're going to cut a different path for Ekiti?
Well, it's in our interest as a state and as a people to cut a different path. And my manifesto was unveiled in January, and is to make Ekiti prosperous for all. And we are campaigning on 6 pillars of job creation, human capital development, agricultural and rural development, infrastructural development, art, culture and tourism, and good governance. These are the pillars upon which we intend to run administration. This is the covenant that we have signed with Ekiti people, and that we are going to be deliberate in tweaking government policies towards achieving pillars. And as a governor of Ekiti State, I'm going to be governor to all. I'm not going to be sectional. If you watch my campaign, I keep maintaining that this state belongs to all of us. A political party is just a vehicle for us to realize our individual aspirations and to also implement our policies for our people. And I campaign against violence, and I hope and I wish for an incident-free election. And my commitment is to ensure that everybody here prosper, that even the fact that you live in Ekiti State does not make you a second-class citizen. You must be able to at least fulfill your full and maximum potential. As a citizen of the state, government must create the enabling environment for businesses to thrive. We must secure our people. Our educational system also must prepare our students to be a global, a national, and a subnational player, and at the same time, without losing sight of our tradition and culture, and respect for traditional institutions, the elderly, the environment, and everything that will make life easy for our people. One thing that I'm going to do differently this time around is that we will ramp up feedback mechanism from our people. We will regularly go back to the people to ask them about what they feel about our policies, and we are the ones improvement. We will not wait until maybe end of the year. We do that on a quarterly basis.
People have said that education is one of the key features of Ekiti life. People go as far as getting PhDs, and they ramp up the PhDs as many as possible. But people say that there is education, and then there is what you do with education. That people of Ekiti tend to see education as an end in itself. Like, I have PhD, you have PhD, and so what do we do with the PhD? How do you turn PhD into wealth in Ekiti? Ekiti is still seen as one of the poor states in this country, and yet they have some of the smartest people in the country. How are you going to approach this dilemma, as it were?
Thank you so much, sir. You have hit the nail on the head. You are correct about that. That is one of the thinking that informed the setting up of our knowledge zone. The knowledge zone and using knowledge as a wealth-creating vehicle. Because we know, like you said, that Ekiti people are educated, they are brilliant, they are versatile, but at the same time, they are poor. So the answer, the question is, if you are brilliant, why are you poor? Why are you poor? So you should not be brilliant at the same time be poor. So what you have now done in the Ekiti State is to see a nexus, is to draw a nexus between the intellect of our people and wealth creation. So we've come up with an idea that we call Ekiti Knowledge Zone. The knowledge zone is to allow our best brain to come to Ekiti State in an environment that has the ambience, the infrastructure that you can find anywhere in the world. So it's like a smart city, an intellectual hub that we allow them to apply their wares, so that startup can also continue to develop. And the reason why we are doing this is because I believe strongly in the school of thought that posits that the future of education is a combination of what you teach, how you teach, and where you teach. If we are able to tilt government policies to address these three basic issues, I'm sure that we will produce people that are really educated and that are relevant. Because one thing is to be educated. The second thing is for education to be relevant to the contemporary needs. So our people, their choice of courses must be relevant to what society needs, what we need in Ekiti State, one, what is needed in the country, and what is needed intellectually.
Yes, out of securities, Ekiti has also come in the past few years on this issue of herdsmen and kidnapping and all of that. What is the real problem in spite of Amotekun?
Well, Ekiti is part of Nigeria, and we cannot be immune from the security problem in the country. But be that as it may, we still have the lowest security incident in the state, in the country. Amotekun is trying its best. But the real problem here, sir, is that we have a lot of ungoverned spaces in Ekiti State. For Ekiti to be effectively policed, we need like 8,000 policemen. Presently, I'm not sure we have up to 3,000 policemen in Ekiti State. And then that leaves a lot of places vulnerable to attack. And but what we have done as a government is, yes, we are supporting the various security outfits. Amateku is there, our Peace Corps is there, but we have gone a bit forward to ramp up on the use of technology to combat crimes.
That means that the issue of state police must be important to you.
Yes, sir.
Why would you fight that if you become governor? Because Fayemi was a man who also was interested in structuring, and the issue of state police is president is in charge of the governors forum, and in spite of all of that, we are still where we are.
Well, I believe strongly in state police, and like I told you, sir, if a state needs 8,000 policemen, now we have 3,000. That's a shortfall of like 5,000. And you can't wait endlessly for the Police Service Commission to recruit and post policemen to your state. So any serious-minded government must defend its citizens. But we are also not unaware of the constitutional limitations and the problem with our federalism, which we have written so much about too. And a governor can only try its best, but if the constitution does not allow you to do much, there's a limit you can do. But the window of Amatekun is welcome. So what we can do here is we continue to improve on Amatekun, increase the number of men in Amatekun, train them, and I hope that the governors will win the battle of allowing Amatekun at least to carry light arms to defend themselves. You know, that's another issue that the governors have been battling with. I don't think we should continue to play politics with security in this country. It's something that should be a source of concern to everybody. Every serious-minded government has a duty to protect its citizens because it is entrenched in the Constitution.
Yeah, I want to ask you about some of your fellow contestants, like Segun Oni. What is your relationship with him?
Well, it's a big brother to me, and it's very cordial. I accord him utmost respect as a former governor of this state and as an elder in society. Bisicola Ole is a big brother of mine too. We've come a long way. Bisicola Ole started his politics as an AD member, so he was part and parcel of Governor Adebayo's administration at the local government level, and since then we maintain a very cordial and very close relationship. So Oluyede is a friend of mine, and like I said, I don't think politics should come between us. At the same time we meet, we interact, and I've tried to be civil, to be decorous in all my engagements, because I know that after June 18, we still have a relationship to maintain. That is my view. I have utmost respect and regard for all of them.
Yeah, people say that that the electorate in Ekiti tends to be very discriminating, and also they tend to vote one way this time and they switch the other way the other time. We've seen it with Adebayo, we've seen it with Fayemi, to Fayoshe, to Fayemi again, and so on. Are you worried that this might be another way to say, okay, we had enough of APC for the past 4 years, now let's move to either SDP or PDP?
I'm sure that Ekiti people are desirous of retaining APC in government because they have a candidate that knows them very well, a candidate that has been with them at every difficult time in the life of this state. Then we have a government that has performed creditably well, and they also realize the fact that the governance now is not a tea party, is not a walk in the park. The era of excess on crude, the era of bailout support, the era of like this from federal government has gone. That government requires someone that understands the nitty-gritty and the nuances of administration, someone that can do more with little, someone that is committed, that is compassionate, someone that understands their pain points, and that I'm not sure they will want to throw away the gains that has been achieved in the last 3 years.
Well, it seems that the turnout in Ekiti has been getting low and low and low and low. Are you worried about this? Is it a matter of trying to get the much that you can get from the small?
Well, I actually don't think, I don't think so. I don't think it's a problem peculiar to Ekiti alone. I think it's a national problem. And my own issue about that is political party has a lot to do with about mobilization and voters' education. You know, or maybe people are losing faith in democracy. I can't understand why. But it's not a problem peculiar to Ekiti alone, and it's a national problem. But I think it's something that we need to look into.
Could it be a problem of failure to deliver the goods, or also failure to mobilize the people? Because it's not a problem with Ekiti. You said that it is everywhere in the country. You mean that the political elite is getting out of touch with the people?
Well, I think it's more of a question of mobilization. Both the political parties, maybe they're not doing enough with voters' education and voters' mobilization. If parties should take voters' education and mobilization the way they take their primaries, I'm sure that people will come out and vote.
You studied political science.
Yes,
you studied political science in your first and second degrees, and then you went into finance.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you came into politics. And how all of these things blend into you?
Well, I see politics as service. People don't see me as a politician in the mode of a politician, you know, because yes, I went to the private sector. I left. I went into private. I resigned from the bank. I went into farming, and that's what I've been doing for up to now. You know, I have a successful farming business, and it's doing so well. Politics is just my own way of giving back to the society. And that is why you said that I'm not running for any election, because I see every assignment given to me as an opportunity to impact positively on the life of Ekiti people. But what I've discovered, and I'm being frank with you here, is that our political space has to be open to it should be made attractive to people. You know that best brains in the country should come into the political space, because at the end of the day, governance is a serious business. It's a serious business that is too serious to be left in the hands of mediocres, you know. But the political space must be made attractive for decent people to play in.
Thank you for shedding light on your candidacy and your vision on for Ekiti State.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.